Well, hey everybody, the events of the last weeks have been so painful to watch, haven't they? Painful in our city, painful across our nation, and even now to some extent out across the globe. I just want to take a moment just to say that we as a church and me as your pastor are so committed to trying to be helpful and to be a blessing and to be part of the solution in a long-term way to some of these issues and not part of the problem. I recognize as a white pastor, relatively new to the United States, that there's so much that I still need to learn. There's so much that I need to understand of the issues, not just of the weekend or even of last week, but the issues of the last hundreds of years, which have left us in this place where there is still such a sense of injustice and pain and racism in our communities. I'm so blessed and so grateful that I got to grow up in Southeast Asia in a totally diverse and actually area, and actually as a real ethnic minority figure myself. But also, after I left Southeast Asia, I got to go and live in South Africa, part in an area of very deep racism, and then a little bit later on living in one of the black townships in Johannesburg, which I loved. I'm so grateful for what I got to learn along that journey, but I also realized that here I'm just beginning, and there's so much that I want to learn, and I want us as a whole community to be able to learn together. Here in Pasadena, we're grateful that we have such wonderful African-American leadership in so many areas of our community, but yet we realize that there's so much pain and hurt that still exists there. And we want to journey with our African-American brothers and sisters to understand what the causes of those pain are and how we can help to see not just temporary change, but long-term change. And so I want to ask you that you would join with me to be agents of peace, to be agents of prayer, to be agents of good news in this time. I'm going to be praying for opportunities to learn, praying for opportunities to see healing happen, praying for opportunities to understand better what is going on across our nation in this moment. So please would you join me to pray. And if you'd like to talk, if you'd like to pray with somebody, then myself and the team, we're all around, and we'd be delighted to hear from you. Your voices matter in every area of our life. So please do that. We're also transitioning this week towards a new Sunday venue. I'm afraid no physical services quite yet, but we're going to be live streaming from a bigger location where we can have the band and things. So I wanted to say thank you so much to Greg and Irene Wellborn for helping us in the past. And on Sunday, please do join us as we go into Colossians chapter 2. And I'm going to be thinking a little bit more about how do you really physically, challengingly do hope and be agents of the kingdom of God when life is a bit tough and a bit messy outside. So join me for that. We are on a journey, we hope, towards having Sunday physical services starting in the not too distant future. We are trying to be really sensible, really prayerful, really careful in how we're doing that, and realizing that our neighbors are not just those who are like us, not just those who we already know, but they are all those in our city, particularly the lost and the lonely and the least. And so we're in talks with Hamilton, we're in talks with Pasadena Unified School District. We're trying to work within the guidelines that have been set out by our governor about how churches should gather. And one way that you could really help us out as we try and figure this out is that you could fill in the questionnaire, which is on this email. If you do that, then we'd love to hear from you, love to hear your thoughts about what are going to be the key issues for you about reopening. So please do join with us in that if you can. Community groups will be meeting this week as normal, and then otherwise we'll see you on Sunday morning. So much love. We're going to be praying for you, and look forward to joining with you then.